Oh my god, no. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's insane.
Yeah, oh my god, I'm crying.
I'm not crying, so I'm not crying.
Oh god. Yesterday, I met Jess for the first time, and yeah, we basically got to just like hang out and talk a bit about her story. I kind of got to see that like she's got a real shining light. I really got this sense of like the main word that comes to mind is just like resilience. She's got such a resilience, and that is the type of people that I paint. I always paint like strong female characters, and that's sort of informing what I'm doing today, as well as like being able to see those places that she holds really dear to her heart.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
You too. Good morning.
Oh, thank you.
Don't mind the crazy cats, Nuala.
Oh no, I love cats. I have a cat.
I'm so glad.
She's delighted with herself getting her shot of fame.
Loves it. Loves it. I can't wait to see your artwork. My boys are obsessed with art.
What in your eyes do you think is gonna come out of it?
I have a feeling it's going to be like a mixture of maybe myself, Portrush, like I love Portrush. Yeah,
I love Portrush as well.
I love it. It's a world away from home.
Okay, well, I'm gonna drive us.
Perfect.
So let's get in touch.
Because I'm still on L plates, so no for that.
Sweet.
Let's hit the road. Like straight on, yeah. Just down in here. I'm confusing you.
So yeah, tell me a wee bit about what it was like getting diagnosed.
So when I was diagnosed with cancer, I was 28. For about a year, I had like extreme abdominal pain for ongoing. Constantly running to the Royal at A&E. I must have been in it, I would say 3 or 4 times.
In really
each
bad
week.
pain?
Like, yeah. That actually went on for about 2 years. I knew there was something there, I just didn't quite know whereabouts in my body it was, but I definitely knew it was like to do with the bowels.
Yeah, for sure.
There was actually one GP in particular, I kept saying to her, I really believe I have cancer. She told me that I was too young to get bowel cancer.
Just point blank.
Point blank. It's not bowel cancer. You'll not get bowel cancer.
Not possible.
You're too young. It's not possible. It's all in your head. She was like, but I'll refer you for a colonoscopy anyway. So that was like the start of it. I went for the colonoscopy, and then they took me back out, and the doctor that took me into the room had the Macmillan booklets, and I was like, yeah, I know what I have.
And how did that feel?
To me, it was that like clarification, like I have.
You'd already been thinking this?
Yeah, not that I wanted to have it, but I'm like, I told you this is what it was, and you just didn't believe me,
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Unfortunately, with bowel cancer, some of our patients are getting younger, and I think for me, you were my youngest patient that I spoke to, so I could appreciate the challenges of getting a diagnosis so young and having a young family and all the different stresses and pressures that come from that. But I think just chatting with you, getting to know you, and we have been able to build
I feel like
a
you
good
guys
relationship.
Took the weight off it. Like, we've talked about so many things, like from the nitty gritty to the scary, like the daunting, when things didn't really look great.
Seeing Macmillan, did it make you think, like, worst case kind of scenario?
I don't know if I ever said it to you in the start, but I remember saying to Dr. Corey, I was like, have you given me a Macmillan Nurse because I'm palliative? And then you were like, no, Jess, like, that's not the case. Like, I'm not here because you're like end of life or anything, like,
Yeah, it's a very common thing that we would hear, but we do really try to explain to patients that we are here at every stage.
When I was diagnosed, I was told that I was stage 4 and it was spread to the lung. I started chemotherapy and immunotherapy, and I done 6 months of that, and I had the bowel resection, and then I opted to have my ovaries and my fallopian tubes removed. I went into the Royal for the lung resection, and all was good. There was no evidence of a disease in my body whatsoever.
So with the surgery had removed?
Everything. And then I asked them, well, can we check the rectum? Like, I had such a strong feeling there was something there. They checked it and it came back, it was a brand new cancer. It wasn't bowel cancer, it was a new rectal cancer. I had a total proctectomy, which is removal of your large bowel, your rectum, anus.
The whole everything.
The whole shebang. Like, I've no shame in saying that.
Yeah.
Had a scan and it showed 2 spots in the liver. All was well up until a few months ago when they says, well, we don't quite think we've got everything that we want to get. So I had a liver ablation 10 weeks ago now.
Okay.
Yeah, and now we're waiting on scans.
I'm waiting to hear.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, 100%. God, that's such a journey.
You went through so much from your diagnosis, all the different treatments that you've been through. It's been a lot.
I never knew that back in October they were giving me weeks to live had chemo not worked. If you'd have told me that 2 years ago, I would have given up hope, you know, like, would have just said, what's the point then? You know, if I'm going to die, then I'm going to die, like, you know. I think, like I always said, like, if I didn't have a Kirsty, I don't know how I would have got through it. Like, you've never downplayed and you've never lied to me, like, you've always been so fair but then always positive about it, you know. You've never been like the oncologist, like, oh, doom and gloom, like. So yeah, I'd be lost without you.
Aww. Thank you, Jess.
You're welcome. I think everybody needs a Kirsty. That was nice along the beach, but
yeah, it was lovely.
Refreshing. It's beautiful.
It feels like you're on the end of the world, doesn't it? Is there points where, like, you know, did you feel when it came back, was it like disheartening or?
I remember when I came back and I remember saying to Mum, I was like I must have been a really horrible person in a past life. I was like why does that have to happen to me? Do you know what I mean? Like, that big surgery, that was one of the worst things.
Definitely.
But like, you can't blame anybody. Like, you know, you can't blame yourself and you can't blame anybody, because if these things are going to happen, they're going to happen. You know, it's just how you deal with it. You know, I've had my days where I've sat and cried and like didn't want to be here, and then I'm like, you know, but I've got over that. And as much as like I've went through it, I find it hard to be that negative or, you know, be like in that mindset. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I brought all my arts and crafts stuff with me because obviously I'm going to make you a bespoke artwork, but I just thought it'd be nice for us to like low pressure, just like making some stuff. As a mum, like, how did they feel when they found out you had cancer?
You can't just be an absolute emotional wreck and not worry about how it impacts their like mental state.
Yeah, God, it's so hard though. I find that really hard to, you know, as a mum, like when you're having a tough time, like there's been times where I've had to put my daughter down to bed and just go into my bedroom and just cry because I'm like, I have to hold it together for her, or I feel like I have to anyway.
Absolutely. I feel like the only one time my kids have ever seen me break down was when I was in Antrim Hospital, just after the big surgery.
After your big
That
surgery?
last one. They were just like there in that moment with me, and my oldest was like crying along with me, and my youngest was like by my side, and he was like, Mom, it's all right, like, you know, you're gonna come home when you come home. Like, I just can't get over like the amount of empathy that my kids have gained from me having cancer.
So like, is there any things that, you know, in your day-to-day life have sort of like had massive changes that maybe people wouldn't actually expect?
But the biggest for me would be like, there's definitely a stigma of having an ostomy bag, especially regarding disabled toilets, like the amount of comments I've had going into those and coming out.
Oh really? Are people being like as if you're not disabled?
People look at you like up and down like, what's wrong with you? Like, what are you in there? And so, like, there's been times I've just been like, whop the bag out, and I'm like, well,
yeah, you should whip it out. Yeah, and then I'm sure they're scundered.
Like, not all disabilities are visible.
I'd love to have a wee proper look at what you've done, because I can see a wee me there. And I love it.
On the macro cross.
That is absolutely beautiful.
And the sunset in the background.
That's gorgeous. Yeah, I've actually like done that. I've incorporated wee tiny teeny weeny us's in there.
I love it. I think it's amazing. Us on the beach.
1, 2, 3. Oh, how exciting.
You have no chance of catching that.
So,
red.
Red, sparkly.
Never been red.
Never been red.
Always purple.
Always purple.
I think everybody knows that's my favourite colour now. Lost my nails during chemo. There was one point in December 2022, I couldn't walk.
No matter what, like even whenever you were so sick, you still dragged yourself in.
There's times I've even not had the money. Mummy's been like, Jess, go and get your nails done. Like, you know, that's not you. It's the one thing I do for myself. Like, I don't go buy myself clothes, shoes, you know. Get my nails done. It's like my holy grail. Like, it's the one thing I do.
It's a way to look after you.
Yeah.
So you always come in smiling.
Yeah.
Don't know whether it was me or whether it was the fact you were getting your nails all fixed up. Always so positive regardless of whether you were ill. Because there was times that you could see.
Yeah.
I think people come in and offload because they know it's not going to go any further than here.
Yeah.
It is like therapy.
You're just so easy to get along with.
Yeah.
What I'm going to be doing today is basically taking that time that we spent with each other, the conversations that we had, and sort of the general vibe that I got from Jess as a person. Resilience would be the main, like, sort of overarching feeling that I got from Jess, like strength, self-advocacy, just a really strong woman. And I want Portrush to be in the background because that was her, like, grounding place where it's almost like she draws strength from. I wanted to represent that because it was a really important place to her.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's insane.
Oh my god, I got really much. Oh god, I really hope you like it. Yeah, oh my god, I'm crying.
I'm not crying, so I'm not crying.
Oh god, yeah, I knew that purple was your favourite colour, so I wanted to do a vision in purple.
That's going on my bedroom wall.
Oh, that's so cool.
Insane.
I just wanted to display your, like, you have such a strength and resilience.
Word. And like purple is like my aura, like
yeah,
my colour.
100%.
Oh my word.
I say that 100%. And then like Portrush behind.
Even my hair, like oh my
yeah,
word.
and like, do you know what? To me, your hair is like, it's so like luscious and long, and like I feel like it's like it feels like a big part of your like expression, self-expression or something.
That's
to
like
me.
my biggest fear, ever losing my hair.
Really?
Like,
well, your hair is absolutely beautiful. That's why I wanted that to be like, you know, take a.
I just love the purple. Like oh my word. Honestly.
I'll give me a hug.
Thank you so much. I never in a million years imagined that Nuala would come up with something as amazing as that. So if someone was in my position and newly diagnosed and struggling with like a bowel cancer diagnosis, my biggest word of advice would be to speak up for yourself, use your own voice and be your own advocate and don't let them talk down to you. Yeah, like if you're not happy, use your voice. Because I feel like that's how I've got to where I am now.